Hello, my name is Paul and I'm the Accidental Bookseller. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm doing a tag called the Would You Rather tag, and I was nominated ages ago by Emily at Reads, and it's a video that I never got round to recording. I was conscious that I was doing quite a few tag videos and not doing other types of videos, so I stopped doing tags for a while, and I'm now returning to doing one that I was nominated for that I never got around to doing at the time. So this is one, and it was created by Curious Cat and Ellen Made Book Club. So I'll dig out what videos they've done, as well as Emily's video, put that in the notes section, and we'll get straight to it because there's quite a number of questions. I think they're designed to be quite quick. I think they're either or questions. So the first one is the prompts: never read more than one book from the same author, or read only books from one author of your choice. I'm not prepared for this, so it's all spontaneous answers. I think I'd go for one book by an author because that would give me a wider capacity for reading lots and lots of books. I'm not really one for rereading books. Number 2, read a book with an unlikable main character or your favourite character dies. I'm cool with my favourite character dies. In fact, I'm actually not okay with books that feel that they've got to have a happy ending or everyone's got to live happily ever after. If the plot calls for the main character dying, that's fine. Number 3, start your library from scratch, but you can't rebuy any of the books that were on your shelves before, or never be allowed to add a new book to your current library. This is tough because I enjoy getting new books, and you think, oh, I'm not really into this whole book ban thing where people for a particular month don't buy new ones. I don't like that restrictive part of things. If someone tells me I can't do something, then it's not that I deliberately set out to do it, but I don't like being told not to do certain things that aren't completely okay to be doing. I think I'd go with never be allowed to add a new book to your current library, because like most of the people on Booktube, I've got more than enough books to last me my lifetime if I live to a grand old age. Number 4, your favourite author never publishes anything new or only publishes bad books from now on. Well, most of my favourite authors have passed away anyway, so this is a bit of a tricky one. In fact, I'm struggling to, maybe there's Clive Barker, well, he's getting up there in years, but there's not many that are still living. So they're not going to produce anything new anyway. I've got to answer the question. Let's go for my favourite author never publishes anything new. Number 5, read only one of your favourite genres or read as widely as you want, except in that one favourite genre. I think I'd go for read only one of my favourite genres because there's more than enough in classics, there's more than enough in science fiction, there's more than enough in crime. Probably wouldn't go down the crime route because I think there's quite a lot of a lot of good crime, but there's also a lot of bad crime. And quite often you can only get deep into a crime book before you realise it's not so good. But I think I'd go down that option of choosing up only one genre to read. Number 6, be stranded forever on a desert island with a full library, or still live in society but books have disappeared. I'm more than happy being on a desert island with a full library. Whilst I'm not a hermit, I don't crave. How do I word this without sounding weird? I don't crave being with other people. I'm not someone who thinks, oh, I must meet up with such and such on a particular day, or I must get out and this It makes me look like I live in a and given that I've only been in this room when I've done videos. Oh no, I've done some out and about bookshop videos, haven't I? I'm saying because most of my videos have been done in this room. This could be in some kind of nuclear bunker somewhere, 6 feet, 600 feet underground, where I don't meet anyone. But I'm quite cool with my own company. That's probably that's the safest answer. I'll go with that. I'm cool with my own company, and I'm more than happy to be on a desert island with a full library. The question, the other question to ask is: let's say you're in the middle of a particular book, and it's a right rare book, or it's a right rare author, and there's lots. It's quite hard to get in the in normal society, and and you're right into it when on the island reading it, and you've got maybe 6 more in the series to read, and a ship passes. Do you wave at the ship, or do you think, "Oh, I'll wait till the next one. I want to read these 6 books"? That's the better question. Number 7, SFF. Read on what's SFF? Don't know. SFF. Read only 5-star series, but they're unfinished, or read only thick standalones with a bunch of info dumping. I don't understand the question. What's a bunch of info dumping? I'm going to say standalones. I think it would be annoying if you read series after series and they weren't finished. Number 8, mystery. Oh, I've just realised. Oh, we're getting onto a stage where it mentions particular genres. So SFF might be a genre that I'm missing somehow. I don't know. Anyway, mystery. Always get book twists spoiled, or they all have an open ending. The killer isn't caught. I think this depends upon the book. And with this particular question, it's quite pertinent because I used to read a lot of James Patterson years ago, and it got quite annoying with his style because he has a really exaggerated style of, you might get 1-page chapters or 1.5-page chapters, and things briskly move along, but you quickly realise that, and I may be wrong, but if you was to write a book, or if I was to write a book, I think one way of going about it would be, you say, all right, I'm going to write 80 chapters, and you label 80 chapters and what's going to go in each chapter. And if you're only going to put 1.5 pages in each chapter, once you've got a summary for each chapter, you've not got the lion's share written, but you're going to make a pretty good stab at doing the book. And I just feel that it's quite transparent and generic a way of writing, to the point where I find it quite annoying at times that it's been written to order, or written formulaic writing is probably a better description. Which brings me to the topic of James Patterson's Alex Cross books, where there was an episode about 13 or 14 books into the series where it's not a particular long book. It's about, I'm going to say 300 pages, but there's quite big print. And as I say, these very, very short paragraphs. We get to end the book and the killer isn't caught, and there's kind of like a cliffhanger type thing. And I thought, you've hardly produced much here. You're telling me that I've got to buy the next book, and before I know the answer or the killer's caught. It just felt lazy and just not the done thing to do The Hangover, having quite a shallow book. I did get the next book, but I stopped after that. I thought, I'm not doing this anymore. And then there seemed to have this number of books that he's involved with have exploded, where it's James Patterson with such and such a name, or James Patterson with such a name, with different series. And I don't know how that happens, whether he just provides advice and then the author writes. I don't know how it works, but it all feels a bit, I'm not going to say wrong, but it's not there's just something that I don't subscribe to. I think if an author's a genuine author, why do you have to ride on the back of another author to get something published? And also, why does James have to get involved with or so widely publicise his name with another author? And you don't really know what you get. Who's writing the thing? It just got so annoying. So that falls into this category where, sorry, I'm being a bit vague. Open ending the Killers in Court. Yeah, that got to the point of being annoying with James Patterson to the point where I ditched him. And that was about, I want to say, 15 years ago. And I'm glad I did, actually. Always get book twist spoiled or the Killer Isn't Caught. Yeah, I'm cool with the Killer Isn't Caught, but providing it's done nicely and it's not just a fake reason to get another book out of the way for you to spend the money on. Historical romance, question number 9. A great love story, but with historical inaccuracies, or a toxic or meh love story, but great historical world building. I think the chances of me reading a historical romance are remote. So I'm not that asked about a great love story. Sorry. And so I wouldn't be reading a great love story, and so I would never get to the point of having historical inaccuracies, or a toxic love story, but great historical world building. I don't like historical inaccuracies, so I'm going to go with just the second one of historical world building. I'm putting too much thought into these. I'm being too serious about this, aren't I? Number 10, read a book that has the best characters, plot, writing. You can only choose one, but none of the others. Oh, so yeah, it's not nameable. Do you want to read a book that has the best characters, the best plot, or the best writing? And you can only choose one. Not writing, plot. Number 11, have a friend who loses your books or a friend who mistreats them, stains them, breaks the spine, etc. I don't lend out books and haven't done for the last 20 or so years for this very reason. Not that I've got any friends who would lose a book, I don't think, but I don't know how they would treat a book, because there's probably no one who's as uh, obsessed with the condition of a book as me. I'm very careful when I read a book. I'll always take the dust jacket off a hardback. I will never break the spine. I always use bookmarks. I'll never turn down a page. Yeah, so I just would never lend books full stop anymore. Number 11, have a friend who loses. No, done that one. Number 12, never be allowed to visit a bookstore again or be banned from all libraries in the world. Probably okay with being banned from all libraries in the world. I enjoy libraries. I like going to libraries, but I like bookstores more. Number 13, everyone hates your favourite books or everyone loves the books you hate. To be honest, I don't care either way. I'm of an age where I don't really care whether people like what I like. I do get frustrated at some people not reading particular books that I recommend, because I don't think I'm quite careful in books that I recommend, and I don't make recommendations without knowing there's a reasonable guarantee that everyone will love them. I can't remember the last time I recommended something. Maybe people are lying. I can't remember the last time I recommended something where someone didn't like a book or thought it was average. But there's usually only about 4 or 5 books that I recommend for that reason, really. I don't know whether I answered the question or not. I don't really agree with any of the two options. And I don't care really what people think, like I just said. Number 14, do you only listen to audiobooks narrated by the worst narrator or only read physical books in terrible lighting? I don't listen to audiobooks. As I've said before, if I'm in a if I have a time space where I've got something to listen to, I will listen to music, and then I've got music listening time, and then I've got book reading time. And if I started on the audiobook route, that would diminish or reduce the amount of music listening that I could do. I'll keep the two very separate. I don't think I would concentrate very well on audiobooks. Number 15, we're getting to the end, nearly. Books from the same series and collection that don't match, or read books printed in a tiny font. Read books in a tiny font because you could buy a magnifying glass, couldn't you, or get better glasses. Number 16, never post another YouTube video or never watch YouTube ever again. I could live with never posting another YouTube video. I don't think many people would miss what I videoed anyway. I don't necessarily do videos for myself. I do videos that I think other people might like. Whether they do or not, I don't know. I simply do not know. I can only do what I can do. But I wouldn't want to never watch someone else's YouTube video again. Since getting into Booktube, I really enjoy the I don't subscribe to a huge number. There's about 15 or 20 channels that I have that I watch pretty much every video that's produced by those channel owners. But I could never not watch any of those again. That's it, all 16 questions done. It would very much be appreciated if you clicked like and subscribe if you want to see more videos that I produce. And if you do watch more, I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.